Hi everyone, it's Tammy at Frou-frou Studio. Welcome back to my channel. This big mess on my desk is what happens every time that I do one of these little accordion journals. I love them, but I drag out everything under the sun when I'm doing them. So I left this pile here so you could see what mess I caused myself. Um, and I'm going to move it over to the side so that it's not in the way so that we can work on a couple of spreads. And I will show you kind of my thought process as I'm going through making these. I love to make them. They're probably one of my favorite kind of journals to make, just simply because they're stuffed with ephemera and you can make them as chunky as you want because it's expandable, and so it will expand with what you're making. And I love the size of it, and I love just the interactive things that you can do in it. It's not a great journal for writing, although I do put quite a bit of little hidden spots to write in the journal. It It's more of an interactive, set up on your desk kind of thing, and just for you to look through and to use up some of your ephemera. So I hope that makes sense. I know I said in the previous video that I was going to work on this journal, and I am having a major mind block with this journal. I do have all my pictures picked out and everything, and I have done a couple of layouts, but for some reason I can't get started on this one too much, and so I decided to do a little one of these in between, because for some reason these little journals seem to give me another jump start, I guess, into getting my creative juices back going again, if that makes any sense whatsoever. Sorry, I had to get a drink there. So I'm going to show you first what I've done so far, and then we're going to do a spread. So this is, I had a 6x6 paper pad that I wanted to use up some of the sheets out of. And so I cut those sheets in half. And so each of these is 3x6. And I put them together back to back, and then in between I put a piece of fabric and sandwiched it inside, and so that's how they're hinged. If you can see, there's fabric in between, and then I roughed those up and inked them so that they'd be good and grungy. And then I also did some stitching around. I went all the way around the front and the back cover, and then on the inside I did just all the way down all the pieces to the end. So if you look at this folded out, you'll see I did a stitch all the way around here, and then, oops, one more. I'm not going to be able to fit it all. And then around the front and the back, I went all the way around. And I will have to say, this is the first one I've stitched, and it will probably be the last. I like it okay, but I think I like it not stitched better. So the next one I do, I don't think I'll stitch. Anyway, so this is the front cover. And I just did some collaging on it. There's nothing really interactive on the front cover or on the back cover, which is this. But inside, when you flip them open, this is where all the little tucks and tags and all that kind of fun stuff is. And so this is held down by Velcro, and it flips up, and there is a little journaling card in there. And then all of these little pieces are in tucks that will come out and you can journal on the back of. And then over here, this little bird is a tuck. This is a little bitty envelope. And it does actually have a journaling card down in there. And you can journal on the back of all these little pieces that are stuck in here. And then I have cards stuck in this pocket, which are also, you know, little journaling spots. So that's that one. And what I do when I do these is when I pick the paper, I always do the layouts depending on what's on the paper. If you were to take both of these out, you'll see this paper. You can't see much of it, but this paper had some purple flowers on it. And so that's why I went with the purple on this particular page. And get everything back in here. Okay, so there's that one. The next page is this one. And again, this little envelope has Velcro, and there is a journaling card down in there. There's lots of little stamps that you can take out, and tickets, and little cards in this pocket. This is just on with a grommet, so it can be another little tuck if you want it to. You could stick it out the top. It does move around. And then over here we have a belly band that has some little journaling cards underneath it. And so you can journal on those as well. This pocket has a it has a belly band on the top that has some, that's supposed to be there, tickets and tags and things in it. And then there's an envelope in the, or a pocket, side tuck, whatever you want to call it. And it has an envelope. And that envelope has some journaling paper in it. And then there's this journaling card that you can journal on the back of. And those are just stuck down in there. And then on this side, you have a little key with a tag stuck down in that tuck. And there are several little cards in here. All the photos that you see in here, with the exception of this one, are Louisa Heinzel's vintage photo kit, digital kit. And there's some tickets. And again, I was inspired by the yellow flowers that are on this particular paper. And then here's the back, like I said, and none of this is interactive, but I did make it look as though it was, you know, just with collaging. And this is the spread we're going to work on today. Now, for those of you not familiar with this type of journal, you flip through it like this, and then you're back to having a front. And so you can flip through it like this. Okay, so I'm going to spread this out so that it's easier to work on. And I'm gonna kind of show you how I do my layouts. So obviously, if I was looking at this as a double page, my main focus color, I pulled that tag out. My main focus color on this page is red, this red here. So that's what I picked to be my focus on this particular one. And I just went through all my ephemera, my little bits and pieces, and I pulled out everything that I thought would go with red, and I've kind of created, you know, a layout that I think I would like. So the first thing I found was this little scrap piece of paper, which is from a Graphic 45, and I think it's called, it's a few years old, and it's something about music and love, and I can't remember the exact name of it. But I had this little scrap, and so I thought that it would make a cute pocket. And so I'm going to put this on here as a pocket to start with. And you want to do, you know, some sort of pocket and tuck on each page, depending on, you know, what you find in your stash or whatever. Some of my pockets are along the bottom, some are on the side, some are belly bands. I've also done them, you know, up in the made corner tucks. But on this particular one, I'm going to do this on this side, and then on the other side, I'm going to do kind of a double pocket that has angles. Do I want to do it that way? Yeah, I think so. So I'm going to glue these together. And again, this is all just scrap paper. And I've just kind of gone through my stash and, you know, found what I wanted to use. And what I do is I make piles other than my big pile. I pull everything out in my big pile first, and then I make piles kind of by color, depending on the color pages that I have to work with. And you want to be sure when you're putting pockets and you're putting things on the pages that you're not going over your seams, so that you can still open and close your book. Okay? I'm sure that's pretty obvious, but always worth repeating. Alright, so is my start for pockets. Now we're just going to start adding different little tucks and pieces to go on the page. So if I start over here, I'm going to put this little tag right here, because now you want to give the idea of collaging. I don't know why I'm so gravelly voiced today, but I do apologize. And then I'm going to put this bird. I don't particularly care for this little cherub guy, so I'm going to put this bird right here and cover that up. But I'm going to glue him down so that the back of him can be a tuck. You can make anything a tuck, guys. Don't be stuck with, you know, oh, I gotta make a square or a rectangle to make a tuck. You can make anything you like a tuck just by not gluing part of it. Alright, so we got him down. And also, I'm going to put some real things that may seem funky to you going together, but I really liked the way that they looked. And so I'm going to use them. For example, this is the Mad Hatter here. And I am going to glue him right here, even though he doesn't really have a whole lot to do with well, I guess he does with red roses, doesn't he? In a way. But I just like the way that looked in the colors, or the red and black, which was the main reason. I hope you can see. It's hard to do these big layout things. Okay, and so the next thing that I have is this little bitty tag. And I'm going to put a number on it. I got to find me a little bitty short number. I'm hoping this one right here will fit. If I can get it off the sticky thing. So how is everybody? Are you freezing? I am. We're supposed to get snow. It's our first one of the year. And they keep changing their mind about how much we're going to get. But apparently it's going to start sometime tonight and not quit till Tuesday. But that doesn't mean that it'll be everywhere. So the best thing to do is just wake up and see what you got. Because they never, I won't say never, they very rarely get it right. Alright, and then I'm going to take one of these little, you can see how little this tag is. And that's from a Tim Holtz die. So I'm going to take one of these strings and try to get through that hole. That may be impossible, but we're going to try it. Oh, I did it first shot. It's going to be a good day if I can get that through there first shot. Now, if I can get it opened up so I can put the little loop through there, that's a different story. Okay, you can do this. Come on. Cooperate. My husband was watching football last night, and I could not believe those people were out at the game. That's some die-hard fans, because I tell you, somebody told me, hey, let's go to the football game, and it's 0 degrees with it feels like a -30. Won't that be fun? I'd be like, I don't think so. Alright, so I'm going to stick that little tag right there in the back of my bird. I'll be like, I'll be in the motel room and I'll see you when you get back. And then I just pulled out several little journaling cards. This one is a Tim Holtz. And it just kind of has similar colors, is the only reason that I'm using this one. That's going to go down in there. And I have to stretch out my pocket a little bit. I'm looking for my bone folder. Oh, I bet it's back here on my scoreboard where it's supposed to be, isn't it? Okay. Sorry about that. If your pockets are a little tight, you can very gently go in with your bone folder and just kind of stretch that paper out just a little bit, and it'll make your pocket a little easier to work with. There we go. All right, and then I have this little steampunk looking tag that I kind of like. So I'm going to stick that down in there. And then I have one of the Tim Holtz cards here that says heart. And so that's going to go down in there. And then I have this little Tim Holtz playing card kind of thing. And that is going to go down in there. So we have all kinds of interesting stuff. The only other thing I probably would like to add is some kind of tab to the top of this. Let's see if I can find something quickly. If not, I can always add it later. Oh, look, this one goes to that steampunk kit. Do I want that? I don't know. It looks awful white. Let's ink it up and see how we feel about it then. Yep, I think that'll be all right. And a lot of times, too, when I'm working on these, I very often flip back and forth between the pages I've already done. And I find something that I think I need to add something else or, you know, do something else to. And so I'm constantly, until I get finished, reworking the pages. And it might be something as simple as adding a stamp or, you know, something like that. Oh, I have this too. This is just a cardstock film strippy looking thing. And it was blank. And I just stamped on it. And I'm going to put it down in here just for some interest in my pocket. I might need to cut it a little shorter. Now you also could do something like this on the side for like a side tuck if you wanted to. I think I need to cut. I'm going to cut this bottom one off. Where do I want it? I think I want it. I'm going to stretch this pocket a little more because I really want it to be over on this side. Oops. Don't tear it up. Don't do what I just did. I just stretched it too much and made the seam come unglued. Yeah, you don't want to do that. Okay. Yep, that's better. Alright, so I want this one behind. And then my little card in here. And my heart. And then my little tag, or ticket. Okay, so there's that side. So now let's work on this side. Alright, for this side, I have just some journal cards. I'm going to put this one in this pocket. And again, let me stretch it out a little bit. Now, I could have put gussets in these pockets, but I find, and I bust the seam on that one too, I find that unless you're going to put something just really thick in these, I don't like to do the gussets because then they get too wide and everything falls out. And I don't like that. I like the stuff to stay in the pockets when you're flipping through. Especially on something like this where you have so many little tucks and things going on. Alright, so this one goes in the back pocket. And then I have this one to go in this pocket. And again, that's just Tim Holtz, I believe. And I have this, which is an original piece of German scrap. And then I put this little guy in a coin. It's like a $50 collector's thingamabob, you know, that you put coins in when you're collecting them. So the flower is going to decorate the pocket. So I'm going to put it down like that. And then this guy, I'm going to put down, he's going to be a tuck. He's going to have a tuck. So I think I'm going to use Fabri-Tac on this one just because it has the grommet, or the brads. So I'm going to use a little bit thicker glue. Am I doing that right? Okay, that's my top. I'm going to make sure I wasn't gluing it. Is this going to come out? Is it going to come out, or is it going to be difficult? I haven't used this one today, so it's going to be all stubborn. Double check again, make sure I'm not gluing. The wrong part. Okay, so that is going to go here. Oh, I forgot I was going to put the stamp. I can still get it under there. Oops. That was a disaster. Glue everywhere. Okay, now I have this little tag, and I believe this is Tim Holtz, and I just put a little rusty safety pin and a little piece of twine on it, and it's going to go down behind my guy here where I made my tuck, there, and then I have this little heart that I found in my stash. And I just made a little tag with that, and then it's going to go down in there like a tag. All right. So now I do feel like there needs to be one more piece that needs to be kind of in between heights here. So I'm wondering, I'm going to take this out and put it over here and see what the difference is. I think I like that better. So we'll just rearrange this a little bit. And like I said, you know, I'll spend tons of time fiddling with this until I get it how I like it. Okay, so there is that. I think that turned out really cute. So let's see what we can do for the next ones. I do not have this one planned, so we may not get it done, but I just wanted to show you kind of the thought process. So obviously the main color on this one is, and actually through the rest of them, is pink. And so I have a stack of things that have pink in them. And, you know, I may or may not use all of these things, but I just kind of made a stack. If I can get them all over here. Okay. So the first thing that I want to determine is, you know, what kind of pockets do I want and which of these things. See, obviously that would look really good, but it's a little bit wide. So if I decided, for example, that I wanted this to be a pocket, then I would just take a little bit off of it and probably make a double pocket. So, for example, I could use this piece and do, you know, a pocket here and a pocket here, which would look kind of cute. But I also want to use this lady. I've had this lady and this little ballerina lady in my stash forever. And I really like her. But maybe I'll put her over here because that's going to be a single page. Because when you make these, you want an odd number in order for it to work out correctly. So, you know, when I made this one, it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 panels. And that way it works out correctly when you're flipping back and forth. And so you have one panel on each side that does not have a double fold, if that makes sense. So I may put her there. She looks really good there. And let's see. I've got this little frame, which is a Tim Holtz frame that I think is really cute. And it will just barely fit. So we could use that somewhere. And then that leaves this one. So I can either put like a coin envelope or I could put it up here and have it flip up. I don't know about that. I'm not convinced on that. And then I also have this plain card that has some pinks. And that would go down in there if I didn't have the tab on it. But I could always cut the tab off or do something to change it up. That's the thing, you can't have anything, you know, that goes over. I could make it would actually fit on there with the tab. And I can make it a flip out. Okay, and then for my photo, I want to use this little guy because I do a photo on each of the spreads. He could go down in there. He's a little small, or I could just put him down in the pocket. I could put him there. And I actually need one more, I guess, don't I? Of course, he'd look real cute with the dog. So maybe we'll use him here somewhere. That could be another tuck on there. So we would have a little tuck here, we would have a pocket here, and we would have a pocket there. Okay, so far so good. This is a little vellum piece. I wish that would fit down in there. That would be really cute, but it's too small. This is another little coin envelope that has, this was in a scrap paper kit. It has like a little telegram that goes inside, and it's a little envelope. So we could put that somewhere. I don't know where. That little guy would fit in that frame, but you can't see his cool car. We definitely want to see the car. I have this little German scrap piece that is a bird's nest. And I also have this little Tim Holtz piece that has a pink flower on it. And I have this little piece. I have some flowers here. Those might look cute there. Alright, so now let's I don't know if I like that card. I like the card. I mean, I don't like that red showing, I think is what I'm trying to say. So what we could do is cover it up. Or I could take it apart, which I do sometimes when, you know, I make a piece of ephemera and then I decide that I need to change it, I just change it. I really like the idea of it being a flip out though, just not that showing. So what if we just get rid of that part? What about that? Now it could actually be a pocket instead of a flip out. Yep, that's what I'm gonna do. And then my little boy could go right down in there like that. And then need to figure out another tuck. Okay. Okay, we're getting somewhere. I think I'm going to cut this tab off. Tear it off. Make that a pocket. This paper, the scrapbook paper, has kind of a linen-y type finish to it, and it's kind of slick. And so it takes the art glitter glue a few more seconds to hold than what is typical of art glitter glue. So I'm going to put my little boy down in there. Alright, so now I need to create another little tuck or something. Don't want to cover my doggy or any of that stuff. I think that goes better with that one. Okay, let's do that one. Let's take my little boy back out. This one is going to go up here, and it's going to be a tuck right there. Actually, I could just put that in there. Oh, come on, glue, stick. Okay, and I'm going to put this one to kind of camouflage where I took that tab off. I don't know about this one yet. Might go better on one of the other pages. Alright, what else do I have? Alright, so if my little boy is down in here, we need something to stick in there. I've got this little stamp guy. I don't think I need that. Alright, we'll see. Nope. Nope. So see, this is kind of the process that I go through. Sometimes it comes right to me, and then sometimes it takes a minute. So I will just keep fiddling with it until I decide that I'm happy with what I've got, and then, you know, make a commitment. Oh, I've got this little tag that actually could go right there. It's just a... Okay, I like that. So there you go, guys. You can kind of see that where I'm going with all of these. She would actually make a really good tuck, but I would have to cut this card down. But I think what I'll do is I'm going to lose either a little bit of her skirt or her foot. But probably take it off her skirt instead of cutting her foot off. But I'm going to make her a tuck. And then I'll be doing the double pocket here. I'm going to use the frame here for sure. And then I will just keep fiddling around with these other things until I get them, you know, situated where I like it. And then glue everything down and continue on to the next layout. I've got this seal too. This was on my daughter's bought me a necklace for Christmas, and this wax seal was on the outside of the box, and so I saved it, and so I think I'm going to put that somewhere. Alright, so yeah, get out your little 6x6 papers, and get out your little scrappy bits and have fun making one of these. When I started this one, I got to thinking that it would be really neat to make one, and so I think I'm going to do this next, once I finish this one, to do one for a year. Because when you, and I'm going to move these straight off this way so I can remember where I was. Because you can set them up like this, like on a shelf or on your desk or wherever. I thought it would be really neat if you had one of these panels for each month. And so I think that's what I'm going to do with the next one. And of course you're still going to have, because you have 7 instead of 6, you're gonna still have a front and a back, but you are gonna have, you know, every month, which I think would be really cool, because you could, you know, even fold it back to where, you know, the most current month is sticking out. Like, for example, let me pull this up. I'm just gapping today. Like, here's your front cover. You know, if you have it setting up, this one's your front cover. Well, when January got here, you could flip it like this, and you'd have January and February, which I know January's about over. And then you could flip the next one, and you'd have the next 2 months, and you'd have the next 2 months, and so forth, so on. So I thought that would be kind of cool. And see, it will expand with whatever you're working on, and you don't have to really worry about it having a closure. Although I normally put a ribbon around mine when I get it done, just because I think it looks nice. So there you go. I hope you enjoyed that. Let me know what you think about it and how it's going so far. I'm really liking it, and like I said, this is one of my favorite kind of journals to make, and I'll keep fiddling with it until I feel like, you know, I've got it exactly where I want it, and then I'll say, okay, done, you know. But I read a quote, I can't remember who said it, but somebody asked a painter, you know, how do you know when it's done? And his answer was, when you make the last stroke and quit, then it's done. So, you know, when I make the last little glue thing or stuff something in a pocket, then this one will be done, I guess. So thanks for joining me today, guys, and I will be back on Tuesday for Color Combo 2024. And if you haven't joined that yet, please join in. It's lots of fun so far, and hopefully I can keep it going for the whole 26 weeks, and we can make some ephemera together. So again, everybody, stay warm, have a good evening, and I will see you back on Tuesday. Bye.